Okay, good morning, guys. My name is Ajibola Jurojayola Philip, AGP, and I will be taking you in support and resistance in the next 1 hour. When I'm done, Konki Dare will come in to take you in trend line. So we are starting technical analysis today. Yesterday, we were able to talk about candlesticks. So we look at the implication of candles and what they really mean. We studied like 10 candlesticks, most used price action candlesticks um, in the market. Okay, and so far so good. It's been awesome, and the meeting has been wonderful. Okay, I welcome you all again to today's meeting. I will be very, very fast. Okay, before then, I got a call today from Hot Forest telling me some things about those that want to register. So, like they called me like 3 times. My manager called me, and the business developer of Hot Forest called me. So they were explaining some things to me that they noticed some of you are having issues with your registration. So this is the problem. Please, I will say this so that anyone that wants to register will bear it in mind. Okay. When you get to proof of identification, these are the things they need from you: international passport, national ID card, permanent voter's card, or driver license. If you have any of this, you are good to go. If you don't have it, if you have any other certificates, maybe you have NIME slip or any other certificate that is not international passport, national ID card, permanent voter's card, or driver license. This is what you will do. You will require to provide a local government birth certificate, attestation of birth. It can be done in court, or a declaration from high court. Any high court can do that. I think it's 500 naira or 15. I can't remember the amount they collect from you. Please, for registration, that is what you will use to back up your documents. That is, if you don't have a driving license, a voter's card, an international passport, or a national ID card. Okay? Proof of address. A recent utility bill is in your name. If you are using a proof of address, if you are using any utility bill like NEPA bill, any other bill like that, it must carry your own name and your address. So if it doesn't carry your name, it can't be used by you. What you will do is you have to go to your bank to request for your bank statements. Okay, for example, on my own app, I don't know, maybe you can do that. On my GT app, I can request for my bank statement online. It will be sent to my mail just for 6 months, and it will carry my address. Some people, if they request online, it won't carry their address. So people like that might need to go to bank and request for a bank statement that carry their address. That is what you will send to Hot Forest, maybe through mail, or you upload it on their sites, either of the two. So once you can get this, your account will be approved. Please, I'm saying this so that you avoid my DM or asking me, well, my account has not been approved. No, these are the things you need to do. Please, if you don't have international passport, driver license, and this and that, you are using NIME slip, student ID card, work ID card, they will ask for your birth certificates or age declaration. Get that, it will be approved. If you are using utility, if it's not in your name, don't use it. Go and use your bank statement. That means at least every one of you should have bank accounts. Just go to your bank. If you can't go to your bank, you can call your bank. I don't know all banks' phone number. I know GT Bank alone. Call your bank, talk to them. They will send you your bank statement. They can ask you to come to bank to collect it. So go to bank, request for it for 6 months. They will print it out for you. Just take a picture of it. All they need is your name and your address must be there. Then send it to Hot Forest. Your account will be approved immediately. You just need those things for verification that you are truly you are a citizen of Nigeria. You stay in the country. You claim to stay, and to verify if truly you have not been to any fraudulent activities and you can be traced. That is the purpose of that. So that being said, we go. I'm just saying this so that you won't keep asking me the same questions over and over again. It's tiring, seriously. When I have to answer the same question more than 50 times, asking me the same thing. So let's just address it once and for all. anytime you come across this video, you can easily do whatever needs to be done. All right. Thank you very much. And if you go to their website, it's there. They will give you the all that is needed to be approved. All right. We've talked about how to connect your broker to Hot Forest. All these things have been done. Yesterday we get to technical analysis, and we started with candlesticks. So today we will be looking at some other technical indicators. It's very you'll be hearing about support and resistance trend line. What are they and what is their function? So let me say this before I start. If you can master these two indicators alone, I'm telling you, you're going to be a great trader. If you can combine support and resistance, trend line, candlesticks, if you can combine these three and use them perfectly, I'm telling you, you won't need any stress again. All you just need is experience and mentorship. Like somebody that will now keep educating you that, okay, this is how they are used more and more. But if you can get them perfectly, you are good to go. Because most of the time, what happens in the market is a function of candles, function of support, and function of resistance, that's supply and demand zone. So I'm going straight to my screen to share my screen with you. Then we flow together. Okay, I can believe my screen is reflecting now. Are we good? Okay. Now, when we talk about resistance and support, let me quickly define them for us. Okay. Support is just English language. English is support. That means a place where something gets to and is having a kind of balance, or let's say it's kind of have a kind of a push. That is support. Resistance is English. It's a place where something gets to and the thing cannot go above that place again. Now let's take for instance, let's say this my wallet is a resistance. And let's say this is candle. This my phone is the candle. Now the resistance is this place. My candle is my phone. So my phone is hitting resistance and it's not passing through the place. That junction where my phone gets to and my phone cannot go higher and there is a force pushing down my phone, that point is called resistance. The place of support is a place where the market gets to, my candle is my candle, is coming down, it gets to this place, the candle refuses to go lower. This junction, where my wallet's junction, is the place where the market is finding support. So that place becomes significant. All right? Now we have support in different ways. We have the horizontal and vertical support. We have the horizontal and vertical resistance. So I'm going to teach the horizontal one, which is support and resistance. When Darren is talking about trend line, he will be talking about the vertical support and resistance. It's still the same thing. So we are still talking about support and resistance. And we are talking about trend line or support and resistance. Now, let's look at it. Look at the market now. Don't forget, we've talked about candle yesterday. You know the meaning of candles. You can see now from this place, what are you seeing? You are seeing candles. These candles are information of what is happening in the market. For instance, from this junction, if you look at this place very well, I need to enlarge my screen so that you can see. If you look at, if you look at this junction very well, let me put a mark there for you to be clear. Let me put an arrow. At this junction, I hope you can see it. At this junction, Tare was talking about a candle yesterday. He called the candle a doji candle, a dragonfly candle. Can you see the dragonfly now in the market? It's not a theoretical stuff. It's all what he talks about is happening in the market. So there was a candle that forms that, oh, the bulls, the buyers are in the market, and the market is going bullish. That is a candle talking about that. And he was telling you that the candle is more significant when it happens at a support region. Okay? Now we want to apply that to the market now. All these candles we talk about, and how do they affect support and resistance? Okay. First and foremost, what are we trying to do? We're trying to locate which area is the market having support and resistance. When you come to the market, which area is the market having support and resistance? Don't forget I said support is the place where market gets to and it refuses to go lower. While resistance is a place where market gets to and it refuses to go higher. Okay? Now, you have to bear this at the back of your mind. All resistance can be broken, all support can be broken. It is not permanent. Resistance can become support, support can become resistance. Anything can happen. It's a dynamic market. It's not a static market that, oh, once this place is support, it must remain a support. No. It can happen that a support become resistance and a resistance become support. Sorry, am I recording this? Am I recording? Okay. It's not displaying here. All right. Now let's pay attention to this. Let's look at this market, for instance. I'm going to identify some support area. Don't forget, I said a support area is a place where the market gets to and it does not go lower. Now, when you look at this market, where does the market get to and the market did not go lower? That is the first thing. Now, the first ability you must have as a trader is an ability to see quickly. It's an ability to see quickly. That is the first ability you must have as a trader. All right. The market goes to a region here. Let's use this. Okay, this junction where I marked is a place where the market goes to and does not go lower. The same region, when the market got to the same region here, the same region, the market refused to go lower. Okay, the same region around this area, the market, although it did not get there, but the market did not get to that support. It was around that support area at this region as well. Now, we have identified like 4 areas where the market gets to and it refused to go lower. 4 good areas, the market is getting to that area and it refused to go back, to go below that place. Now, if you let's bring a line. So let's say this line is showing us where the market is having a support. Okay, where is the market having a support? It shows is this area. Now, what information comes to your head when you have things like this is that the possibility of the market turning back from this region is high. So the market always turn back. It happens that when the market was selling from this area to this place, the market turns back. Let me draw some things. From here, the market was selling. It got to this place. It stopped. It's by a little to this place. The market stopped. It sell. They say when they get to the same area, the market stopped. It buy again. The market stopped. The market sold again. Testing the support area, the market goes back up. Then what do we have? We have a breakout. So I will talk about a breakout later on. What do we have here? We have a support holding the market, saying we are not going below this place. The bulls are saying, okay, the BS, you are winning the war when you are selling, but at this junction, we won't allow you to sell. 2 things come to your mind. If you are on a sell, at this junction, you should take your profits because the market will definitely respect that area. The area become significant. The market will respect that area. And if a support is being tested more than 2 times, it becomes dangerous for you to stay in that market. Because the more they test the support and they refuse to break it, the more the support becomes significant and they become stronger. All right? So the support here started becoming stronger. It becomes stronger, it becomes stronger, it becomes stronger, to the point that they keep rejecting the sell at that region. What happened is, as they were having the support, another resistance was forming. So we were having resistance where? We were having resistance in this area. I'm going to use arrow for resistance. We were having resistance here. We had one here. We have one here. We had one here. We had one here. So I'm going to bring in a line to show the resistance line here, that we're having a resistance. Let me make it, let me change the color to red. Let's make it red. Or red should be okay, so that we can differentiate it. Okay. All right. The red area, you know, I'm only talking from this place to this place now. The red area is showing a resistance. That's okay. As they were having support at this junction, they were having resistance at this junction. No, that mentions something about a ranging market. So this one looks like a ranging market now, a perfect ranging market. The market was moving to a resistance area, coming back to the support. Then we have what we call a breakout. Breakout means they move out of that region, of that support and resistance region. There was a move out from that region. So that's why I said a resistance can be broken and the support can be broken. Now here now, at this junction, a resistance was broken by a long candle. Sorry, this class will not cover something. It won't cover breakouts. I can't take that in this free class. I'm sorry. Because we have to talk about so many things. If we want to talk about how to trade breakouts, the significance of breakouts, what's the meaning of breakouts, how do you trade breakouts as a trader? That has to be from our advanced class. Okay, but I'm going to tell you what is happening now. With this, we have a breakout. The market moves out of resistance area and it begins to buy. The buy was massive. All right, that is the significance of support and resistance. You can see how support moved the market now to the point that it doesn't allow the market to go below that place. Now, when you are having something like that in the market, excuse me, a region where the market is getting to and is bouncing back, the area becomes significant. Most of the time, the point of a support is, if a market is on a selling trend, maybe we want to sell, support helps us to take our profit, because most of the time, our take profit is always at the support zone. Let me show you something. Okay, this morning, I call Euro USD. And I put our take profit at this junction. It's almost close to our take profit, like 40 pips for my guys this morning. That's my student are going to take home 40 pips. Now, you can see where support is here. At this junction, there's a support. And that's where I put take profit, because I know the market might react around that area. The market might react around the support zone. And that's why we put our take profit there. You get it now? We started selling from this area, from this area to this place. That is like 45 pips for them this morning to take home. All right? So let me go back to your class. So most of the time, the function of a support is when we are selling the market, support helps us to take our profits at a support zone. When we say a support zone, that the market is having a support, we quickly think of taking our profit and running away from the market before things go out of hands. That is the significance of support. The same way, vice versa, if we are on a buy, resistance area is area where we put our take profit because we know the market might get to the resistance area and begin to react. So we quickly take our profit at a resistance area. You understand now? That is if you are buying. If you are selling, we take our profit at a support area. And if you are buying, because when the market hits resistance, we have to wait to see if the market will break the resistance or the resistance will act as a force upon the market to push the market down. That is the significance of support and resistance in the market. The last thing is you now begin to study what makes us make our decision is the candle that form around the resistance and support area. Okay, let me show you this. Although when Dario comes, that is doing that, but I need to quickly put that, ship that in. I drew this morning when I was talking to my students. I did this morning when I was talking to my students. I was giving them, when I gave them the signal, I have to explain to them why I gave the signal. So I drew this, a trend line. That is what Dario is coming to talk about. He will tell you the significance of trend line when it comes. I drew a trend line and I drew moving average. We're not going to talk about moving average in this free class. Okay, so I saw something that there is a support here. The possibility of us going back from this trend line is very high unless it's broken, because the trend line is acting as a vertical support. That will say more of that. I just want to bring that in quickly so that we flow together. Now, we are having a support and resistance now where the market is bouncing and is going back. The information you have here is, oh, what will happen to this market? Will it finally take my profit or not? Blah, 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 blah. Now, let me further say this. For instance now, how do you measure a support here? How do you measure support here? Let me show you something. Don't be lost. There was a support at this junction. There was support at this junction. And this support, it correlates with the support we have here. There was a support, there was a resistance at this junction some times ago. This area has a resistance. Now, if we bring a line, let's bring a line here. You can see that the market might likely stop at 11585 or something like that. Around this area, the market will surely react around this area because there is a support there. Remember, we are selling the market. So this is an area where we look out to take our profits. The market might surely react along that resistance area. If this resistance is broken, the next resistance is the next one we have here, the next red line. Okay, let me make this one yellow so that it will confuse us. Okay, if we should break this yellow line now, which is a support before, if we should break it, the support area here, remember it was a resistance here. And I told you, resistance can become support can become resistance. Now, here now is a resistance, is becoming a support for this market at this junction. So if this place is broken, now it goes back to become a resistance. All right? Okay, I want to go and take question in the class. Let me know if some people are confused. If you want to pay twice, that means it has to be within 3 weeks.
Within 3 weeks.
Very soon I'll be done with my part. Okay, let me say something about the mentorship class again. See, I'm saying this with all confidence. No, nothing checking. You know, I deserve the credit for that. All my students, you can go and ask any one of them on WhatsApp. We have a group on WhatsApp where if you pay for my mentorship, you're going to join the group. The people I mentor and things like that, they will tell you. You can see the Mr. that was teaching you yesterday. That is an evidence that I am not hiding anything away from my student. He was once my student before he became a staff. So if my student can come up and teach you, you should know that this guy really opened up to the last thing that you need to know. One of my students that started last year is already holding his own Forex mentorship class. Just imagine. I'm okay with it. In fact, this morning, early this morning, he sees come to me to seek my opinion about something. And I told him, he asked me that, are we selling Euro USD? I said, yes, I'm on sale. And I've given my students a sale on Euro USD. He asked his own students, and he called it as a signal for his students. I don't care. We have over 20 billion, 200 million people in Nigeria. So those that will be my students, if you are teaching and you are still my student, I'm still your mentor. I will still attend to you. So I can't say, this is the most ridiculous amount I've seen so far that somebody will give you, and it's forever. It's not that after 2 months, I will have to tell you, that is like, you will remove your TP. Have you removed your TP? Yeah. So it is not something that, okay, after a month, I just teach you for a month and you go away, or 2 months. It's something that after a year, you can still come back and ask me a question. Once I just see that, okay, you are part of my students, I answer you, I attend to you, and you ask access to my materials and everything. So this is the best you can have. I'm sincere with you. So for those that are saying, can we pay twice? I've given you the condition. We have two conditions. The $50 we end on Saturday. If you are paying $50, that means you want to pay twice, 25, 25. Good. There is no problem. But the rest of the money must come in before next week, Saturday. If you are paying $70 and you want to do it twice, I will give you grace of 2 weeks to do that. Or maybe if my village people whisper to me, I can make it 3 weeks. But for now, it will be a grace of 2 weeks to pay the $70. Anything outside that, we go back to our $200. And I am very sure when I'm done with all this training, everything, our training goes back to $300 for mentorship. Yeah, I am very sure of that. We are going back to our $300. We are done with the promo and everything. We did it because of pandemic. We want people to make money from home. I want to make it easier for them to make money from home. That's why we have to do that. If not, there's nothing that makes us bring our money that low to this point. It doesn't make any sense to me. With what I'm giving out, it doesn't make any sense. I'm offering mentorship, not training. If it is training, well, I can do training for $100 or $50. If it's training, I'll just train you go with mentorship. Your bonding has to be on me forever until you become successful. So it's a great thing. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot on me. And it's going for like $50, $70. That is a lot. So I will advise you quickly do something about that. And some people are asking me, am I going to start trading immediately? Please, you don't need any capital for now. What you need is training, not capital. Please, let's get that clear. Don't look for capital. If you have training fee, pay and start your training or mentorship. You don't need capital. When I learned trading, I learned cryptocurrency, how to trade cryptocurrency. That was and I told you I learned trading generally, and I learned cryptocurrency as well, stock and everything. I didn't have capital until after a year. I was just learning. I paid $250 something then. I was learning. I was not even budging my head with trading. I was not even looking for capital. I don't have capital self. Where would I see the capital? So I was just waiting until the day. It was after a year that I got a capital to start trading. So capital is not your priority. Your priority is getting the knowledge. Like going to school. Looking for a job is after the training, after your education, when you have certificate. So let's go back to class. Let me round up my own part of the teaching. So we were talking about support and resistance, and thank God we are trading a live market now. You can see, according to what I said, this market is now is very close to a support area that I've marked, this yellow area. And I believe when this market gets to this place, this market should react. The market, sorry, that is making me laugh here. He's making money and he's laughing and I'm laughing. Okay, the market should react around this area, around this yellow area. If the market should react, I believe we should have a rest, or we break this region and begin to sell. And then the next area is this red area. If we should break that place, we are coming to this area because that is the next area where we have to support. Okay, now we are going to combine this with trend line. When there is now talking about trend line, this will now make more sense to you. That, oh, that is it. So when we're talking about vertical support and resistance, horizontal support and resistance, you now know what we are talking about. Okay, let me identify some resistance and support in the market again. Okay, let's look at this now. For instance, if you are looking at this, for instance, let's say we are looking at this market, we are looking at this area. Where do we have support here? Our support is at this junction. Where the market gets to and it refuses to go down is our support, and that's this area. And you know the implication of that, where the market is getting to a particular area and it refuses to go back. You can see, when they first get to this place and it stopped, again, the market buy a little and it come back to that same support. This area, let me mark it. Let me use a line to mark it, a yellow line. You can see it. It got to the area again and it stopped. Immediately, you can see a price action candle formed around that area. A price action candle formed along that area, and this is a piercing engulfing candle. The candle, the bullish candle engulf the bearish candle. So this is the importance of your candle. You know, I was saying yesterday that especially when it happens at a support area. Do you still remember? Good. It happens at a support area that an engulfing candle, a bullish engulfing candle, pierces a bearish candle, and it begins to buy. That is very, very significant. And you can see the buys are happening until how many pips? Anybody that put a buy here now should have, like, to this junction, like 150 pips. That's big money. Madam Goku now. So you can see the significance of all these things. It looks simple, right? Like, okay, so this is not really that difficult. I'm combining candlesticks now with support and resistance to trade. All right. Let's look at today. I took a position. I took a sell on this market. What did I see? Why am I selling the market? Let me explain to you. It was a principle of support and resistance that brought about me selling this market. Let me take away all this for them, Abi. Update them that their TP has been taken. Or as the mode on that. That is 40 pips back. Plus 50 pips. They have made enough. Let them go and rest. Me, I'm still in the market share. So yesterday, I noticed something. Look at this place. There was a resistance in this junction. The resistance was also in this junction. You can see this area become a resistance zone, a place where the market gets to, and they refuse to go higher. This region, you can see the market got to the place, boom. It goes down. The market buy again from this support area to this resistance, boom, and they refuse to go above it. Immediately, a price action candle formed around that place. So when he was talking about 3 morning star, you may not know, but I can see it now, that the candle has been formed. Here you can see a bearish candle, a small bearish candle, and a bullish candle. I know that is a price action candle. So I was waiting like an hunter. I was waiting for them. Immediately I see the next bullish bearish candle, I put a sell on it. And from there, how many pips? How many pips do we have presently? This is like over 100 pips has been done. That means if I use, let me say I use 0.02 lot size, I have made, that's $200, right? I've made $200 with this strategy now. Have I done anything special? No. I just use the principle of support and resistance with my candlesticks, and I've made profit in the market. You can see that it's not about grammar. Saying, this is I think my network is bad. Sorry, excuse me. My network is not good. Are we fine? Okay. I've just used the principle of support and resistance. I saw a resistance here, another resistance here. I mark them. I wait for the market to have a price action candle around the resistance, and I joined the sell because the resistance was signifying something, that the supply zone has been formed and the market is going to sell. As soon as we broke this resistance and we go up, I can say, okay, maybe we will come to this place. But since we've not broke the resistance, the resistance is acting now. You can see the way it's acting on the market until we get to another support area before we stop. And we are moving to another support area, definitely. And that is where I'm looking up to now. If we get there, if we stop, I will take my profits and leave the market. And that is about, what's happening to this guy now? Don't confuse me, Jerry. So that is what is happening now in the market. We broke that trend line. I think we are going to sell this market. It's significant of hours. We have broke it. The next thing we are going to is 100, 200 moving average. So I have seen the support and the resistance now, and I've taken my order and I'm in the sell. I'm now good. It's even good. I'm doing a live trading with you. Not that the market has been formed, and I'm not teaching you wrong. I'm teaching you what I'm doing, what I just did today to make profit. What I just done, I just did it today. Since last week, Monday till today, we have been trading every day without a single loss. You know, it's crazy. When I tell people say, there's no loss. I've been trading without any loss. Till date, till today, we are seeing profit now. I'm seeing the market and I'm showing you a live market of what I just did this morning. So you can see the relevance of support and resistance in the market. How relevant they are. You can see now, okay? So that is all I'm going to talk to you, tell you about support and resistance. So I'm going to close my section and I will allow Dario to come and take you in trend line. So you're going to see what is going to happen in trend line and how is this significant to what you are going to do in the market. Okay, thank you. I'm going to take your questions now. Let me stop my own record.